so rarely do I get to talk to women in this profession, but I get to talk
hear you.
to you, and I was really excited that you were scheduled to be, yes, on the show today. I can do that to you because we're friends.
Close friends, good friends.
The Caitlin Clark situation yesterday with her press conference in Indiana, and it produced a very awkward moment thanks to Indy Star reporter Gregg Doyel. I know some people missed this. It was a very online moment yesterday, so I do want to roll the video for people just so they understand what we are about to talk about. So here's Caitlin Clark and Gregg Doyel's exchange yesterday.
Hi, Caitlin. Gregg Doyel, Indy Star. Real quick, let me do this.
You like that?
I like that you're here. I like that you're here.
I do that at my family after every game, so.
Okay, well, let's
cool.
start doing it to me and we'll get along just fine. So, question is...
Yes!
It is.
Everybody throw your hearts up. Only to a dude. I'm the dude. Throw your hearts up to me. Do it to me.
Yeah.
Thank you, Teresa.
But I love you, CJ.
Exactly, and therein lies a big difference.
I've known CJ for a very long time.
Right, and you're not in a power dynamic. I would love to know the last time Gregg Doyel covered a Indiana Fever press conference or Indiana Fever event. I don't know the answer to that. That's beside the point. Here's how I took this, Teresa, and I'll be very curious your reaction. And we have since had an apology tweet from Gregg Doyel, an apology column from Gregg Doyel. No, the column especially didn't help me. Any semblance of leeway that I felt was erased by the column. But here was the tweet where he described it as a uniquely oafish way while welcoming Caitlin Clark to Indy, formed his hands into a signature heart. My comment afterward was clumsy and awkward. I sincerely apologize. Please know my heart, literally and figuratively, was well-intentioned. I will do better. I saw this, Teresa, and I thought to myself, I do not think that he was being purposefully weird. I do not think he was being purposefully sexual. I genuinely think he was doing what many men would do in this situation, and that is handle an introductory press conference of Caitlin Clark different than he would say a Colts press conference, a Pacers press conference, and this almost infantilization that we do with women, or this, oh, it's so cute that you're here, let's have this little moment. And when I saw that, I was like, of course he would feel the comfort and the desire to do that and throw up the heart and just give such a cringe is the right word, because I think we all cringed at the very least when we had to encounter that.
I had so many, people were reacting. There's a reason he was trending, okay? Yeah. The head of the Society of Professional Journalists chimed in on that. And here's the thing, as a female, knowing a female reporter asked Peyton Manning, a Paul George, name any other high-profile male athlete that question, and I'd say the same thing about her that I think about Gregg Doyel. If I'm the Fever, I'm thinking about pulling his credential.
Yeah.
If I'm his boss, I'm asking him, sitting him down, what were you thinking? I don't get this. It's a professional setting. That's your way of introducing yourself. Just be a professional journalist and say, hi, my name's Gregg Doyel. I'm the columnist for the Indianapolis whatever. And then ask a question.
Yeah.
News conferences are not where you form relationships. I can't even imagine trying that with Derrick Henry, okay? One, because I'd be roasted as, do you see what the girl did?
Right.
Yes, every female journalist knows that's what it would have gone to. She was hitting on him or something like that. That's what makes it just the ultimate in cringe. And yeah, if that person worked for me, I don't think I'd send him on that assignment, and we'd have a serious conversation. Now that column you mentioned, Jess, 4 clicks, and I refuse to click on it because I don't want to read it. It just, I feel that I would get into trouble and be in serious trouble for asking that kind of a question in my position. And if somebody that worked for me asked that question, I wouldn't be hiring them again.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing when reporters get a urban gentleman up there and start trying to speak slang for some reasons. Like, yo, that's not how you talk. Why do you think it's okay for you to interact with me that way? We're professionals in this environment. Until, Teresa, like you brought up, until we get a professional understanding, like a friendly professional sort of relationship, there's no reason for that to be how you address me or talk to me. I thought that while I think he meant it, like you, Jessica, just harmlessly, that's not how it gets portrayed, and that's not how it is. This is a young professional. She wants to be treated as a young professional. Not even young. She just wants to be treated as a professional. You're doing things to try and make yourself seem like you're in with the thing that's going on, and you've proven that you're not by doing that gesture and by the comment afterwards. He's got to be smarter than that. He's got to be better than that. And I would hope that he does start covering Fever games, because they need the coverage. It just reeks of somebody who got dropped into this situation only because there's a supernova star there with no real knowledge about what's going on in the game that is WNBA.
Well, and I think that brings forth the conversation, and I saw this being talked about on social, and I do agree with it. Like, are we as an industry, and an industry that is still predominantly male, and I'll take it a step further and say predominantly white male, are we prepared to have these conversations to talk about women? And let's take it even outside of sports media. People don't talk about women very well, period. Like, I received an email yesterday, Teresa, that I was telling CJ about. Can you read it? Sure, I will, actually, just Teresa, to make sure that
this email is incredible. From a known news outlet, correct?
Right.
Like, it's are you going to say it?
Sure. It's the Axios Daily newsletter. And you get, like, different versions of Axios sends you, and this one was headlined "Year of the Girl Dad." And it said, in a news meeting last week ahead of the NCAA women's final, an Axios colleague asked, "Is this the year of the girl dad?" It is. And fellas, let's not miss the moment. Why it matters? Women have built tremendous momentum across society, and dads can keep it rolling. Consider these: a list of women with girl dads. Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Olivia Rodrigo, Greta Gerwig, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, even Vice President Kamala Harris.
I know none of those women, Teresa, but I guarantee you they have a dad. I guarantee it.
Why it matters to me? My 3 daughters. So, father of daughters. But, I got this email and I just thought to myself, here we go. A man centering women's stories yet again. And what happened yesterday? Instead of talking about Caitlin Clark and we will talk about her $10 million reported deal with Nike and a signature shoe coming, we're talking about this bozo who decided to have a very inappropriate way of introducing her to his city.
Here's the thing. I don't think he does that to a male athlete.
No, he says he does, but he doesn't. In the column, he said that he would, and I call bullshit.
That's the thing. I mean, because if a guy is sitting there and hears that question, you're probably going to get a dude, bro, what?
Yeah, who are you?
It's not in these news conferences. You have a tight window, okay? You have people trying to get their questions up, and the follow up to the coach wasn't any better.
With that,
yes, it's like just ask her. I spoke to a journalism college class last week at Lipscomb, and I said, treat athletes the way you'd like to be treated with respect. Right. It like is people. That simple, you know, and Caitlin Clark, just the question should have been, I think, what he was trying to ask, and I still don't, the heart thing, why, she made it clear that that's a family thing. Have that conversation away from the group, okay? When you're trying to start a relationship, and we do try to have relationships with the athletes we cover, to the point that they know who we are, who we work for. And I think she got a clear signal of how he might be covering her in Indianapolis. And if I'm her, I don't know if I'm, taking questions from him. Indiana could have helped him out by not calling on him, just going to say, or giving him a mic. But I'm just going to go to this. Guys, my little tip to you today, treat women just with respect, okay? Don't tell us to smile more. Don't ask us about our emotions when that's not the setting.
Give me a hug. Oh, the worst is the give me a hug. Give me a hug. Where my hug at? Give me a hug. Give me a hug. You nailed a part. And listen, you have been in the industry for however many years. You are a legend in your own right. You have existed in this space when there were even fewer women to be in it in the first place. I unfortunately did click on his column just because I wanted to be able to reference it and see what was said. And you pinpoint the part of just treat them like people, and that's what it really comes to, because even within the column, which I was willing to give a fair shake, he went down an avenue that honestly for me triggers me the most of maybe the whole thing, where he goes through, at first it was denial, and then it was anger, and then I had to accept, and where he accepted it was when somebody that he respected deeply told him, Caitlin Clark is a young woman, and you don't talk to a young woman the same as you would a young man. And to that, I push back, because I have been in countless situations where male bosses and male colleagues, when we have had points of contention, have fired back with I forget you're a woman sometimes, and I have to treat you differently. And that is the most passive-aggressive, demeaning way that men can go about dealing with women in the industry.
That I'll say this: I've never gotten that, and
it's the worst.
It is, and it's one of those things that the closest I've come to that in my career was when I was in my first press box covering a high school football game, and our columnist walked in and says, "What are you doing here?" Now the reason, we only had 2 people on the sports staff, and I said, "So quit today." Needed somebody to go to the game. I raised my hand, and that's the only time I've really gotten that kind of thing. But just treat people as people. Treat Caitlin Clark the way you treat a Peyton Manning or anybody on the Pacers. She's an athlete. You're wanting to ask her about how hard it is that she works to maintain her greatness. Just simply ask her about the challenge that, of trying to always hone her game. Okay. Guess what? He never got near that question on the clips that I saw or that were making the rounds on social. And I had male colleagues reaching out to me going, "Good Lord, what was going on here?" And the colleagues I work with saw it for what it was, a cringe-worthy moment. Unprofessional, in my opinion.
The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m.